This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
All right, good evening, everyone, and we are very happy to be back with the Mid-Dale Sports Report Semester 2, if you will. And this is not something that you see much on the Oklahoma Sports Network, where we have coaches shows take place after football season. But we're very happy to bring this to you, and we're happy to be once again at Buffalo Wild Wings here in Del City. So here at Buffalo Wild Wings, you can support your favorite Midwest city. And this goes for Carl Albert and Del City as well. But we're going to focus on Midwest City winter sports teams by coming here, eating their wonderful food, and showing them, the waiting staff, one of these cards. So tonight it's Midwest City night, and we'll show you some of the examples of what we're talking about. Here's the girls' basketball card coming up. So we wait on that. All right. Find a way to get that on your phone, and we can definitely send it to you if you contact us. Got the boys' basketball. We got wrestling, we got Midwest City powerlifting, and Mid-Dale swimming. So those are some of the examples you can have at any time. Come to this Midwest City location, and 10% of your proceeds will come to the go to the team of that that goes with that card. Also, basketball season's getting going here at Buffalo Wild Wings. You can come here right now and watch the Thunder play and the OU women's team. OU men's will be on here later at 8 o'clock. And, of course, you can come on other nights to watch Oklahoma State and former Del City Eagle Brandon Garrison play, and Oklahoma State women's team as well. We also want to thank Toonie Bice Houses, and they are led by a former Midwest City student. So be sure to check out Toonie Bice Houses. They buy and renovate homes, and they also lease and owner finance homes throughout the state of Oklahoma. You can call them at 405-353-9682. They're led by Channing Chamberlain, again, a former Midwest City grad. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk Midwest City sports, starting with Midwest City girls basketball, and I'm happy to be joined now by their head coach, Megan Knight. All right, Coach, let's go and show a picture from this past Saturday. So we'll go and get that on there, Jacoby, as they went to the Ada tournament and beat the home team Saturday to win this tournament. Coach, what was exciting to you about this tournament? What were you most proud of when it came to your team's play?
We were really able to adjust to the style of play. Ada was a really well-coached team, and they slowed the ball down. So we were able to see different styles of plays than what we're used to playing. You know, we were a fast-paced kind of team. And so being able to adjust to that, slow it down, and still finish it strong and win against Ada at home. So I was proud of them for that. We saw 3 really good teams, and they all had 3 totally different style of play. So it was good to be able to adjust each night back-to-back with little to no time to prepare. Yeah,
so what was it like? What was the atmosphere like playing Ada at Ada? Was that definitely a true road game?
Yeah, Ada, it was really loud when we played at Ada. They have a lot of fans. That whole home side was completely packed. They had a good student section, so it was very much like playoff atmosphere. They had to pay attention a little bit more to hear me and those kind of things, so it was really good for us. It was a great atmosphere. Ada definitely brought it with that.
So remember, they got an assembly for you and the boys' team because they won their tournament.
Yes.
And I believe it was Deanna Douglas was most outstanding player.
Yes.
And then who were the all-tournament selections?
Sierra Martin and Sanaya Gaddis. These two next to me did a really good job. Marquia had 15 points and 16 points, and Seven's probably one of our most consistent young ladies. So overall, it was kind of hard, I think, for the coaches to decide, which one to pick, because I thought we had a solid weekend.
Yeah, because you have a lot of depth right now.
Yes, we do. That's a good thing to have.
So, I mean, I feel like, and especially when I watched your Del City game, that, you know, you were able to bring in players without any drop-off off the bench.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We can sub in a whole new 5, and we don't change much, so that's really good for us.
And you did not have a game last night because of Guyman couldn't make the trip because of the weather.
Yes.
So do you know when that game might be rescheduled?
We don't know yet. We're coming up with a couple dates, especially from Guyman having such a long haul down here. So we're trying to come up with some dates that will work for them. So they haven't officially gave us the yes or no on the 2 dates that we're deciding on.
Yes, I'll be interested to see if it's an unconventional day, like you know, a Saturday, a Monday, Thursday, or something like that.
Yes, that's where it surely will be, is one of those days.
All right, and so since you had that night off, or last night off, were you able to catch any of the Del City Lawton MacArthur game?
Yes, we were. 7 was there, and so we were able to watch them. Kind of, you know, we know Del City, and so we were able to watch them and compare them. What they did good, I thought, you know, both teams went at it. It was a good game all the way till the very end, and so it was good for us to kind of watch, see what Del City did good, what we could adjust, and all of that. So.
Right. Well, this was about Lawton MacArthur for you guys, because
yeah,
it's a big one.
Oh yeah, it's a really
Friday.
big one with them, you know, leading the district. So we got to come and see what we need to do. If we take care of business, I think it'll be a really good game. So we're excited.
All right. Who do we have with us here?
7 Miller.
Markia Pratt.
Okay, ladies, thank you for joining us here. All right, 7. Big question for you. How come you don't wear the number 7?
It's illegal. You
It
can't go
is?
past 5. And
Okay.
so it either looks like 25 or 52. So.
Oh, you have to. Okay, so I remember that. You have to have digits that are 5 or less.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At some point, they allow those numbers, but not yet.
Can't wait.
No. Okay. Yeah, you're already thinking about that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do remember you playing some as a freshman last year, but now your minutes have expanded. And what do you feel like how your role has expanded? What would you say your role is now?
It's kind of the same. Just crash the boards, play defense, score when I can, and just do what I do.
When you say do what you do, when you say or score, what type of offensive game would you say you have?
I'm going to pull it if you let me, and then I'm going to slash too. I'm going to get to the girl and get to my shot and get to my floater.
Very good. All right, Markia, thank you for being with us as well. I definitely enjoyed watching you play last year, but I felt like you had to kind of wait your turn a bit with all those guards that are seniors, and now you have a chance to show what you can do, right? And so was that a little challenging for you? Did you feel like you could have done more?
I mean, yeah, but I learned a lot from them, so I wouldn't be what I am right now without them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And with your game, I feel like what I enjoy is you have a good mid-range game, and you're definitely a slasher too. And Coach mentioned your tournament. How do you feel like your season's going?
I feel like it's going good. I just got to stay a little bit more consistent, but other than that, it's going good.
Okay. Do you ever have to have other players like, you know, Gianna, Lobby, either one of you for the ball? Like say, hey, I'm open, give it to me, or do you just always look for her?
I always look for her. If she's open, I'm going to throw it.
Yeah. Very good. All right, Coach. Let's talk more about where you guys are health-wise, because you had this break, and you did have some players like Sienna was a little banged up, and then obviously Landon she's been recovering. Where do you feel like they are right now?
They're doing really good. I think the ADA tournament was huge for Landon. Just kind of mentally more than physically, just kind of shaking that off, coming off of an ACL injury. We have Sierra Martin that was kind of banged up at the beginning, and she's fully ready to go. She looked great over the weekend. And then Snai Gaddis, she's kind of, you know, she's been dealing with some injuries, and she's doing really good right now too, taking care of her body and all of that. So right now we're pretty healthy. They're all taking care of their bodies, doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know, we have Jarrett, great athletic trainer, that's helping us with that as well. So right now we're looking good. We're looking healthy. And so we're really excited to see what this second semester has for us.
Now, you're in the Moore tournament still, right?
Yes, yes.
Is Booker T still in it?
No, they are not, and a couple of them had to drop out, so it's only 6 teams. So it's kind of like a round robin, and so
Right.
we automatically know we're going to play Choctaw and Bixby before we know who will play that last day.
Well, that's still pretty good.
Oh, those are some great teams, and you know, Choctaw was kind of like a rival for us, anyways. So
Yeah.
I know my girls are really excited to play them.
And then I asked about Booker T since they're in 5A. That would have been.
Yes.
I'm interested to see how that goes. When I last talked to you, I mentioned like one of the East teams in 5A that might be a challenge is Glenpool, and I realized they actually dropped down to 4A.
Yes.
But so it looks like the teams to pay attention to there are Booker T, Sapulpa, of course.
Yes.
They've won a few state titles, and Tahlequah.
Yes, all 3 of them are doing a really good job. And then Tulsa Memorial's doing good. They got a transfer in from Sapulpa.
Oh,
And
okay.
so they're another one that you got to kind of keep on your radar out there, too.
Yeah. Are you paying any attention to the other district, though, in the west side, Carl Alberts
Oh,
district?
absolutely. Any chance I can get, I'll watch them. I watched part of the Carl Albert Shawnee game last night because it was live broadcasted, and El Reno's doing a heck of a job beating Anadarko. We scrimmaged them twice, and so we know Anadarko is tough, so that's a big win for them. So they're doing really good, staying undefeated, so we're keeping up with them, definitely watching what we can. So.
Yeah, Shawnee. They showed me something when they beat Carl Albert like that, held them to 35
Yes.
points or whatever.
Yes.
All right, ladies, what do you think? Are there any particular games you're looking forward to on the schedule with district play? You're going to have some rematches.
Booker T, definitely.
But, well, you got to get there first.
District.
Oh, district?
I'm ready
District
for
or
Del
otherwise,
City
in the-
again.
Booker.
Oh, Del
Del
City
City.
again.
Del City again.
Okay. Do you know the Del City players?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do personally with a couple of them.
Okay, now they can say you beat them because they didn't have Raina
Sasha.
Lewis and
Yeah,
Sasha
Sasha
Hunt,
Hunt.
and they're coming. So
We ready.
We
you're-
ready to.
you got to be happy for that then. You got to
Yeah.
be like the challenge.
Yeah, of course.
And Lawton MacArthur, what do you girls think? Because this is a game Friday we're going to have on the network. Neither team has lost yet. And I know you can't get too caught up in the fact that they struggled against Del City and you guys didn't, but still they won. So what are your thoughts when you see the Highlanders? Are there any particular things about them that stand out to you?
They run the floor well, and they pull the 3 really well. So we just got to keep them off the 3-point line and get back.
And rebound.
And rebound really good. So.
All right. Well, how would you say practices went from your standpoint over the holiday break? Because you had so much time off. Were they very competitive?
Yes. Very interesting and competitive.
Yeah, interesting. I would use the word.
Do you ladies guard each other?
Oh,
Yeah.
all the
Practice.
time. Yeah.
Okay, who usually wins those matchups?
Me.
Oh, okay.
You got to defer to the older player.
Yeah, you got to. You got to.
I don't think so.
All right.
Nah.
How would you say the chemistry is with this team? I mean, because you're winning, but you have you got players from all the grades playing as well. So you got some older players, very experienced. Deanna is as experienced as it gets.
Yeah.
Of course, with over 600 rebounds, right?
We love D.
yeah.
Love D.
So what's the what would you say how would you describe the team's chemistry?
It's good. It's
Really
it's the best. It's the best since I've been here. We're like a family, like really.
Really close knit.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Coach Knight. One last thing. Let's give a shout out to your assistant coaches. One of them's with you, right? And she's been with you for quite a while here at
Yes.
Buffalo Wild Wings. So
Yes.
what can you say about your assistant coaches for this year?
Well, if I didn't have Mick Feeders, I'd probably pull out all my hairs. She does a lot of things, kind of listens to me vent. We're always on the same page most of the time, and, she does a lot of things behind, closed doors that no one sees, helping me with scouting reports, practice plans, all of that good stuff. And so we definitely wouldn't be what we are without her. Assistants don't get praised enough. And so she's really a big role in what we do and what we are here at Midwest City.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you've been together for a while.
Yes.
The question is, as far as you and your coaches go, who draws the short end of the stick as far as having to drive to Guyman?
Oh, well.
You probably haven't even thought about that yet.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about that quite yet. So, probably the day before we'll draw those sticks and see.
Okay. Well, we will not be going with them to that game. But we will be covering their Lawton MacArthur game. So, Jacoby, one more time if you could show the fundraising card. So, we're going to say it. Midwest City and Lawton MacArthur, both teams are undefeated district play. That's going to change after Friday night on the girls' side. And you can come to Buffalo Wild Wings anytime between now and March 31st. You show them this particular card. 10% of the proceeds will go to the Midwest City girls team. So find your time to come here to Buffalo Wild Wings in Del City and show them that. Tell them you're with the Midwest City girls team, and they'll be raising some extra funds. All right, Coach. Ladies, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right, Midwest City boys basketball coming up here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
All right, welcome back to the Mid-Del Sports Report here at Buffalo Wild Wings in Del City. And right now we're going to talk Midwest City boys basketball. First, we want to remind you that you can come here to Buffalo Wild Wings and you can, if you show them this card, so let's see it for the Midwest City boys basketball team. We'll have to pull it up there. All right, any time of the day. It doesn't have to be right now. It doesn't have to be at nighttime. It could be any time of the day. It doesn't have to be on the weekdays. It could be the weekends. Show them this card between now and March 31st. Midwest City boys basketball will get 10% of the proceeds back to them, and so it would be a great thing for this program. And we're also happy to be joined right now by someone I've known for quite a while, Midwest City boys coach Tori Noel. So, Coach, let's go and show the picture now of your team after they won the PCI tournament. What can you say about this tournament and how your team played? I think it was, I could tell from what I saw on Facebook and other stuff, and of course they had a pep rally for you guys, that this was a big deal to you guys. So talk about what went so well for you.
Man, it's been kind of a struggle at the beginning of the year, you know what I mean, going into a preseason with trying to get things back to where we used to be. And then just adding a transfer in on top of it, man, we were on the right track, and then we get a really good kid, and it kind of set us back because we were trying to figure out chemistry and stuff like that. So yeah, it's kind of been a struggle, but we figured it out, I think. And winning the PCI tournament kind of helped us figure that out. So it was good.
Well, the PCI tournament, you know, I know that in years past, Coach Bradley didn't want to be in that because we were in the same conference with the Putnam City schools. Mm-hmm. But now that's all changed, so you get to play PC West in the first round, and I know they got a Division I player who's tough. And then Tulsa Union, it's all 6A teams you're playing. So it's just great competition for you guys. And Tulsa Union, man, that guy was huge. I know you don't talk about it. I couldn't believe it.
Big Eric, man, he's like about 7'2", 300 pounds. There wasn't nothing we can do with him. So we had to find a way to win. while he's scoring. He had like 29 points. So.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. You guys have to learn, and I know PC West has a big guy too, and I'm not as familiar with Norman North this year, but you guys have to figure out how to win against some taller players because you don't really go taller than 6'4", and you'll defend the post usually with 6'1", 6'2" guys. So
right.
How do you? I think this tournament was really good for you in that regard too.
Yeah, I think it was definitely a confidence booster, man. Playing some 6A teams, some good programs, and going out there and beating those teams. I think it kind of opened up more eyes around the state of Oklahoma that we are actually a contender in the state of Oklahoma at 5A.
Definitely. Let's go back to the Del City win. And we talked about that some, and the interview got butchered a little bit by me. But how you told me, hey, we're part of Benwood City basketball. We don't lose to Del City. And they hadn't beaten Del City since 2019. We were there for that. That was an overtime game at Del City. So I think they won 5 straight. But the other thing that made the game important for this team is you decide to go in crunch time without your 2 leading scorers, that being Roy and Carl Shion. And you guys played very poised and held on without them. And I think that shows the depth you guys have. So what can you say to that effect? You're able to – you got other guys you can finish with if you have to.
Yeah, man, it's kind of been an issue early on trying to get them two on the same page, and it showed in the PCI. We had a game with them having 25 apiece, so if they can figure that out, we'll be a really good team. But also I am able to sit them down, and I'm able to build trust with my other guys that they can come in and get the job done. So that'll be really good. Like, let's say Carciano, we're getting foul trouble. We got other guys that can come out there and fill holes and gaps. So it's definitely huge for our team.
Yeah, and you're in that position where you can talk to them because when you played at Middle City High School, class of 2014, so I don't know if you got the 10-year anniversary plans or something.
Yeah, we got something coming this summer.
Okay, good. But, you were All-State, and then you go on and you play eventually Division I basketball at Lamar. So, you can tell them, hey, I've been down this path.
Oh, yeah, man. It's so good being home. Like, I walk the same hallways. I have some of the same teachers.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They want to go where I've been, if not further. So, I know the blueprint, man, and I think I just got to keep harping it and just got to be on them about it.
That is tough, though, when you say you bring in Carl Shion Young. There's going to be a lot of hype around him. That can be a difficult situation. You give him all the credit for achieving what he's done so far. He's already committed to Oklahoma State and stuff like that. But trying to get him to fit within what you want, you talked about how that was a little tough at first because he didn't come in until November. And you guys are already doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we were already scrimmaging, so that was the tough part, man. And he's really good, man. And I don't think our guys have seen or been in a gym with that much talent.
Yeah.
And for him just to come out of nowhere, it did something to the kids. You know what I mean? So it's been a struggle just trying to get everybody to gel together and things like that, and getting him bought into what we do every day.
Yeah, and the other thing was, normally I like having a tournament over Christmas break because my view is, that's less school nights you have to have tournaments on.
Yeah.
But maybe it was good for you guys you didn't because –
Man, it's a blessing because we actually had one of our best practices over Christmas break. And with me coming out of high school, actually playing at Midwest City, we had tournaments over break. And me coming into it, I'm thinking the boys want to play instead of having practice for 2 weeks. But it's been a blessing that we were ready to go for the PCI tournament.
Definitely. And I've asked you about this before, but one thing that I find interesting about you is all the different coaches you've played for or coached under. So you got Coach Bradley, you got your coach at NOC, your coach at Lamar, then you coached under Bradley again, and then under Corky McMullen, and then 1 year with Coach Simpson at Choctaw.
Yes, sir.
So just a whole lot of different people to learn from. And I wonder sometimes if you know too much, you got to kind of maybe put some things you learned on the shelf for now with this team.
Oh, yeah, man. It's really all personnel based, man. I do tend to take things from different coaches,
right,
and then I kind of put it in my own ways. You know what I mean? Put my little spin on it. But some stuff just don't work for kids. Like, it's all personnel based.
Yep. Well, I think it ends up working out nicely for you guys. You had the tournament, you had the experience. Then you don't get to play yesterday because Guyman had to cancel. So that gives you a chance to go over to Del City and watch your next opponent, Lawton MacArthur. And
saw me last night.
Yeah, I heard you were there, but it made total sense. Why wouldn't you do it?
Oh yeah, you got to do it.
They're right there. They're right there, and obviously, I would like for you to watch the game live on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
For sure.
But
I'll get some time on that. Don't worry about it.
But they're still a dangerous team. They lost to Del City. In a way, that makes them a more dangerous team because they're going back home in a game where they couldn't shoot well at all. Credit to Del City for that, but they had some makeable shots that they could have made and they didn't.
Right.
So now you got to play them. They're got to feel a little, backs against the wall at their place. And they only have one district loss now, so they can tie you in the district losses. So, it's just a huge game. What can you say about Lawton MacArthur?
I think every game is big in conference, man. But they're at a situation where they came off a loss, and now they're back home. So now they need a bounce-back game. So I know they come out hungry. And then it's very important for us to play a team that's higher than us in the conference, in the district. So I think it's huge, man, and it'll tell us what if we're good or not. You know what I mean? So. Yeah,
and that Brendan Malone kid too. So he'll be a good challenge. The guards will be too, but Brendan Malone impressed me even though the team lost. So, all right. And the other thing that I look forward to for you guys is the Deer Creek tournament. Is that Memorial still in it? Do you know?
Memorial's not in it, but it'll be Highland Hall is in it.
Okay.
That's a good 5A school that we won't get to see probably until playoffs. So
that absolutely could be.
It'll be a good look.
Didn't mean to cut you off, but that absolutely could be a first-round matchup in state because it's going to be East versus West that Thursday night at Lloyd Noble. Hopefully you guys are there. Holland Hall could definitely be an opponent there. All right, so one last thing. One of our sponsors is Tooney Buys Houses and Channing Chamberlain. I don't know if you ever –
That's my dude.
Is he? Okay. Well, tell him we appreciate he is sponsoring Middale basketball on the Oklahoma Sports Network and this coaches show. So he's helping us give you guys some exposure. Yeah.
Shout out Channing, baby.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Mr. Chamberlain. Great last name, by the way, for basketball. All right, let's show one more time, Jacoby, the card for Midwest City Boys basketball. You can go anytime, like we said. Show them this card between now and March 31st. It could be any day of the week, any time of day that they're open. And you show them this card, and whatever food you get, whatever you purchase, 10% will go back to Midwest City Boys basketball. And their game against Lawton MacArthur, it's a big district game. It's 1 versus 2 in district as of right now. And that game will be on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We can't wait to bring it to you. Coach Noel, thank you very much. Hope to see you again in 3 weeks, January 31st.
Gotcha.
Hopefully talk to a couple players. All right, coming up next, Midwest City Wrestling on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
Red Plains Plumbing has been offering reliable commercial and residential services to the OKC metro area for over a decade. From new construction and remodeling to residential repair, they can handle jobs of all sizes. When you need a trusted name in plumbing, it's Red Plains Plumbing. Family owned and operated. Phone 405-769-1922. That's 405-769-1922.
All right, welcome back to the Mid-Del Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We're here at Buffalo Wild Wings in Del City. You should come to Buffalo Wild Wings in Del City as well. One reason is for the next couple of months you can support Midwest City winter sports teams. It also goes for the other Mid-Del schools, but of course tonight we're focused on the Midwest City Bombers. So you can support Midwest City girls basketball, boys basketball, wrestling, even powerlifting, and Mid-Del swimming. Those all feature Bombers, so you can just show them the card. Let's go and show them an example of some of them right now. And you show them this. That team will receive 10% of the proceeds. Also, come to Buffalo Wild Wings because it's basketball season, wrestling season too, of course, but they got a lot of basketball games on right now. OU women's team is playing. They're women's in college, not girls. And, of course, the Thunder are on as well. OU men's team will be playing later tonight. And, of course, Oklahoma State will be on. Former Del City Eagle Brandon Garrison, who played really well Saturday. You can watch him play when Oklahoma State's on. Oklahoma City women's team as well. So a lot of great hoops on at Buffalo Wild Wings and some other sports as well. And we want to thank, once again, Tooney Buys Houses. So Tooney Buys Houses buys and renovates homes. They also lease and owner finance homes throughout the state of Oklahoma. Call them at 405-353-9682. Tooney Buys Houses is led by Channing Chamberlain, a Midwest City graduate, so we really appreciate him supporting this show here at Buffalo Wild Wings, which, of course, supports the Mid-Del sports teams. The Mid-Del sports team we're going to talk to right now is Midwest City Wrestling, and I'm happy to be joined by their head coach, R.J. Walker. Let's go ahead and show, Coach, your latest result. I know you had two, duels?
Yeah.
And you won the second one, I believe. This is the results against Bishop McGuinness.
Right.
And you said on Facebook that it came down to the final match. So what can you say about how you guys swung the victory to your side?
So going into that duel, we had just lost to PC West, and it was a winnable duel. But Archie Randall, the head coach there, and his coaching staff, Nick T. They've done a great job turning that program around, and so credit to them. They wrestled better that day, and so we knew going into this next duel against Bishop McGuinness, we just had to wrestle better. So we go into it, and at one point we are down 33-3.
Whoa!
And as a coach,
you have to go undefeated from there on, right?
Yeah. So we're down 33-3, and I'm looking at the score and thinking in my head, we've got to get it together, and so we go in, and it starts with actually the guy at the end of the table. He gets a big fall for us, and then it just starts snowballing into that, and then Aiden Brown gets a fall at 165, and then it just rolls from there, and then going into the heavyweight match, it's tied up 33-33, and I put a freshman heavyweight, in there, Daquan Washington. He hadn't got much varsity time, but next guy up, our main heavyweight has been out sick, and so next guy up. So Daquan Washington, he gets taken down early in the first period. He's down 2-0. Second period, we can't get off bottom, and then third period, their guy chooses down, and we ride him out. And I think there was about 6 seconds left on the clock, and we turn him and get a 5 near fall count, and end up winning as time expired, and the bench just kind of erupts. And it started with that first. That first win, it was just a snowball effect of momentum, and we see, okay, this guy won, now it's my turn. Okay, this guy won, now it's my turn. And it's very much these guys, they hang out outside of practice, so it's definitely more than just, in practice, we're teammates. It definitely feels like a family inside the room, and yesterday definitely showed that, being down 30 points and rallying back to gut out the win.
Yeah, that sounds incredible. And I imagine for you that had to be, there was some serious adrenaline there going through you.
Yeah, my mat mates, they showed me the video of the heavyweight, and I'm on the edge of the mat, just yelling. I get into it. I coach with passion, just because I love it. I love this sport. You know, if anybody asks me, in my opinion, I think it's the greatest sport in the world, and these kids put their heart and soul into it, and to see them producing on the mat like that after, you know, putting their heart and soul into something, it's makes me happy because they're getting, you know, results out of working so hard. Because I see how hard these kids work day in and day out. They're sweating together and blood and all that stuff, and so it as a coach, adrenaline's pumping. You know, I'm sweating. I got nerves, all the things, and so just seeing them, you know, from the side, you know, it's a great thing to see.
You'll have to send me that video. I'll post it on some of our social media platforms.
Okay,
because
yeah,
that sounds fun. I mean, and that is dramatic. I don't know a lot about wrestling right now, but what you described sounds very dramatic. So that's awesome. That's the type of feeling you can kind of be like a wave for your team heading into your next match. So.
Right.
For sure. All right, so last time I talked to you on here was late October.
Right.
What are some highlights since between now and then, besides obviously the match you just talked about?
Right. So we've had some success. Since then we went to the only tournament we've had was the Putnam City tournament, and we had quite a few guys place. The guy right here that you guys will hear from here in a little bit, he got second place at that tournament. So we wrestled really good. We had a dual tournament this past Saturday. We went 3-3. Wrestled a lot of matches. You know, we got 6 duels in. Some guys got 6 matches in. Some guys got 5. Some guys got 4. So either way, it's a lot of wrestling. But we've had a lot of guys show that they're confident in their wrestling and get better. And so we have the Carl Albert tournament Friday.
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so. It's looking up. It's looking up for us, for the Bombers, and getting us. You know, back in the day, you know, Midwest City was that national powerhouse, and we're not trying to mimic that. We're trying to create our own version of, you know, whenever you hear Midwest City's here, you know, everybody's like, oh, well, good luck.
Yep. All right, that sounds exciting. Are there any particular wrestlers, and we are going to talk to 2 of your wrestlers here in a moment, but are there any particular wrestlers that have made big strides from last year?
Yes. So I tell these guys, you know, what you put into it is what you get out of it, and I also tell them, you know, you can make progress or you can make excuses, but you can't make both. And both of these guys that you'll talk to here, they've got grown in their confidence in this, and Aiden Brown and Colton Williams also, they're on fire right now. You know, and whenever a kid is hot in this sport, you want to keep feeding them. You know, you want to keep giving them that, and we run into obstacles at time, but you know, we battle. We try to preach battle through that adversity. But we're rolling, and like I said, those 4 guys, they got it going. You know, Reese Woodard is another one who's doing great. He's doing great. You know, this is only his 3rd year wrestling, and there are times that you can tell, you know, okay, this is a 3rd year guy, but there's more times where you're like, there's no way that this is only this kid's 3rd year wrestling, just because he's you know, leaps and bounds, you know, from where he was 2 years ago whenever he was a sophomore. So
did you have any wrestling matches over, or duels, whichever, or tournaments, whatever, over Christmas break?
No. We just practiced, just focused on the small things, fine tuning, getting better at the stuff that we already know over Christmas break.
So I was about to ask, if you have that long of a break, is that a time to hit the weight room a little harder?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So weights, more picking up on conditioning. We practiced with some other schools. Went to Carl Albert to practice. We went to Moore to practice, getting competition, wrestling people other than just each other every day, because, you know, that, especially for the 2 weeks that we're out, that can just get kind of boring and tiring, you know. So next year, you know, we're looking to travel a little bit over Christmas break, looking at an out-of-state tournament. There's a pretty good dual tournament and individual tournament in Louisiana that we're looking at going to next year.
Yeah.
So just getting these guys some competition outside of the state and having fun while we're doing it.
Now that sounds awesome. That's a good reason to come to Buffalo Wild Wings and support Midwest City Wrestling. So be sure you get that card. You got it right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. That to support them going on a trip to Louisiana. That sounds like that would be a big deal for them. All right, Coach. Who do we got with us?
Right. So right here, directly to my right is Gabe Young. He's my starting 150-pounder. He's a junior.
Okay.
His record on the year is 12-6. And then next to Gabe, I have Noah Hayden. He's also a junior as well. He wrestles at 157 for me, and his record on the year is 10-3. And one thing about Noah, he wrestles 157 for me this year. Last year, he was my 215-pounder.
Wow.
So, yeah.
There'll be some questions there.
Yeah, the dude, and it wasn't on me, so those people that know wrestling and know weight cutting, no, I didn't ask him to do that. That was just over the summer. Weight just kind of fell off of him, and now he's a 157-pounder.
All right, so that's Noah.
And Gabe.
Okay, Gabe, we'll start with you. First of all, what year are you?
I'm a junior. This is my third year.
Junior. Okay, so it's your third year wrestling. What made you decide to take up the sport as a freshman in high school?
Well, I actually started wrestling whenever I was in 7th grade, but I had a little accident. I broke my arm.
Oh, okay.
And so I also didn't wrestle 8th grade year, and I kind of just had to wait to go back into it freshman year. But it's just always something that I liked. I knew the first day going into that mat room, I knew it'd be fun.
Well, it's intense, right? And then, was that really appealing to you, the intensity that came with it?
Yeah,
training?
The community was actually really nice too. I liked being around all my friends, and I just grew up with a lot of wrestling friends and family.
So one thing I'm curious about is the challenge you have at school and then over a holiday break, coming back from that, maintaining weight. That sounds tough to me because I never have to think about it. Except when I weigh myself, but so I just will go whatever weight I am. So what's it like for you to maintain that and your conditioning?
It's very hard at times, but if you do it correctly and if you're smart about it, then you'll be just fine.
Right.
But it all depends on you if you want to make that decision.
All right, and what are a couple of highlights you've had this season?
The recent dual tournament that we had, I went 4-1. That was pretty big for me. Most of the tournaments, like he said, at the Putnam City Original, I got 2nd place, and then other tournaments I've gotten 3rd and 4th.
All right, and as a junior, are you one of the? Would you say are you one of the vocal leaders of this team?
I try to very much be, considering that we have a lot of first-year wrestlers. So, I mean, it kind of not really just depends on me all the time, but I like to think I am a vocal leader. I push my teammates every day, and they push me.
All right, Noah. So, how long have you been wrestling?
I think this is about my 12th or 13th year wrestling.
Okay, so you're a real little guy when you started.
Yeah, I was 3 or 4 maybe.
That's quite an age to get started for wrestling. Yeah. Did it come from your parents or any friends, or what do you think got you into it?
Yeah, my dad said he was thinking about it already, but I had brought a little flyer home from school for a Little League team, and I had asked about it, and he was like, yeah, let's go ahead and get you in.
So, I mean, you're an old pro at this. So you know all the techniques then when it comes to maintaining a healthy weight and you got to be disciplined with that, just like you got to be disciplined in practice, right? So are all those things things you're very used to?
Yeah, it's kind of tough sometimes, just trying to just stay in it and keep constantly keeping your weight down and trying to keep the conditioning up and everything. But if you got a good mental toughness, it's really not that hard. You can get through it nice and easy.
So your coach mentioned you had quite the weight drop from last year. Can you say one more time what that was? What number to what number?
I was at 215 wrestling last year, and I wrestled 157 this year.
I'm counting 48 pounds or 58 pounds. I'm not good at quick math. I should be. I'm a math teacher.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been 58.
Okay. What motivated you to do that?
Well, really, me personally, I just really didn't like being a big boy anymore. I just wanted to lose it. But I also felt like I could have more of an advantage on the mat if I could move around more and try and maneuver around the opponent.
Well, your opponents are changing too then.
Yeah, it's also a lot different wrestling these little skinnier kids and these big boys because you get tired and they move around a lot. You got to keep going.
I would imagine they're pretty quick too.
Yeah, and you just got to keep up and keep going at it or else you get caught up.
So when you decide you're going to lose, and was that your goal, was 157?
I really didn't have a set goal. I just kept floating it off, and it kept coming, so I just didn't stop.
So people ask you how you did it. Would you say it was a lot of cardio? Did you have have to restrict your calories somewhat?
Yeah, I was doing a lot of we were in football over summer. I was doing a lot of workouts with them, and I was just trying to really watch what I eat for the whole thing, and just every day just working to try and get as many pounds as I could off.
So you just stayed real active.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. All right, so now you're at your new weight. Do you like that change? It sounds like you do. And with that question, what's also been a highlight for you this season so far?
I think just like Gabe, I did pretty good at this tournament last Saturday. I went 4-1 or 3-1. The one match I did lose, it was close. I lost by 1 point with 9 seconds left.
Ooh.
So I could have pulled through there, but it was tough and we had to get over it. And I've been doing pretty good at the rest of the duels so far this season.
Yeah, losing by 1 point with 9 seconds sounds like that's really tough in any sport that has a clock. So, Coach, tell us about this Malcolm Wade Invitational.
Yeah.
It's going to be the first time we've had Mid-Dale Wrestling on. I'll talk in the aftermath to Coach Hodges about it next week, I hope to.
Right.
But what can you say about it? It sounds like it's a big deal because I think Coach Hodges told me that there's a lot of schools asking to be in it.
Right. It's a big tournament. Whenever I was in high school here at Midwest City, we wrestled in it. But it's big for us in the sense of any and everybody who is somebody in 5A will be there. And since we're 5A in wrestling, that works out for us because we get to see our competition of regionals and state before we get there. Like at this tournament, there's probably going to be some state finals matches at this tournament on Saturday night when you guys are there. So if you guys are watching that, you'll get to see some great wrestling. But we have some guys that can get on the podium. And that's why I preach to these guys. That's what we're working towards. But everybody also has their own personal goal. We have some guys that their goal is to get their first win. We have some guys that their goal is to get in the starting lineup. We have some guys, their goal is to, get on the podium. Some guys, be at the top of the podium. So this tournament is kind of one of those, you see where you're at, compared to everybody else that you'll be wrestling and, regionals and state. And, whether we get a good draw, whether we're the last seed or the first seed, you got to wrestle everybody to win. And so that's the importance of this tournament. And then we go to Chickasha the last weekend of this month, and that's kind of the same thing.
All right. So how many rounds is it? Because it's like 2 days and several hours each day.
Yeah. So I think we wrestle 5 rounds each day. I believe so. I think that's what the flyer said. And it's grown. I mean, this tournament's grown. Mostly in the girls department. Girls wrestling in Oklahoma has grown in general, but it's a big tournament. I think there's 10 rounds total between the 2 days. So a lot of wrestling. If you battle through your bracket, so there'll be a lot of wrestling, a lot of good matches. I'm looking forward to it as a coach. Me and Coach Cade, which you'll get to talk to after this, and other Coach Walker, who's my dad, and Coach Garcia, and one of our coaches, Coach Daniels. He's on vacation in Mexico, having fun. But we're here working, and so as coaches, we're trying to help make sure that these kids are ready for that stuff, ready for the big stage, and ready for those bright lights and everybody watching. So it'll be a good tournament for us.
Now, for wrestling, do you guys scout your opponent any, or is that not even something you think about?
It is and it isn't. If it's somebody that we know, typically it happens like if we see them at a tournament, or say, you know, for instance, Gabe's right here next to me. Gabe wins his first match. The kid that he has to wrestle next is wrestling right after him. So we'll hang around and watch the match a little bit, see what the kid goes to the most when they're on their feet, top, bottom, you know, watch a little bit. But as far as like film goes, like how football does it where they trade film, we don't really do that. We know they'll watch their own film and stuff. We use this app called Matt Boss where they're able to watch, you know, how they do and things that they could improve on. But as far as scouting goes, we don't really do just because we're just like, hey, got to go out there and wrestle. Anything can happen. So, yeah.
All right. Gabe, what are your thoughts of the Malcolm Wayne Invitational? Anyone in particular you might be looking forward to facing?
Definitely a couple guys. I'm not really too sure who's all in the 150-pound bracket, but I'll be ready for them. I'll be ready to give them a fight.
All right. I have no doubt. Noah, what do you think about the Malcolm Wayne Invitational coming up?
I think I'm definitely getting ready for it, but I have no clue what the 157-pound bracket looks like because, again, it's my first year down here, so I'm just ready to go out and battle anyone who goes out with me.
All right. Well, as has been talked about, we plan on showing the championship rounds of the Malcolm Wayne Invitational on Saturday evening. We'll start sometime around 5. We'll get there early to make sure we have on what we need to. We're ready to go. But it'll be the first time we've had any type of Mid-Dale wrestling on the Oklahoma Sports Network. It'll be over at Carl Albert High School. Of course, be sure to check it out if you can. It's actually a 2-day event. So it'll be going on for several hours on Friday and then Saturday as well. And we hope to see some Bombers and some Mid-Dale athletes go very far. And we have to have sponsors to do that. One of the sponsors is Buffalo Wild Wings, so we thank him again for helping us put Mid-Dale Wrestling on. Speaking of Buffalo Wild Wings, please come and support the Midwest City Wrestling Program. We'll show the card one more time. And you can easily get this just by contacting the Oklahoma Sports Network. We'll make sure you get one of these. It's easy to download on your phone, and you just come to this location between now and March 31st, and 10% of what you buy will go towards the Midwest City Wrestling Program. Hopefully that will help them make that trip to Louisiana next year, among other things. So, Coach, guys, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
All right, we're going to get a Midwest City girls wrestling update here in a moment. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Mid-Dale Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
Let's go. Miranda. What business do you want to start?
I want to start a car mechanic shop.
Let's say we go to Scissor Tip.
Ready to go get some coffee?
Yeah, let's go.
You got it.
I think she was from
One,
Rose State.
2, 3.
Woohoo!
Congratulations, Rose State college graduates.
All right, welcome back to the Mid-Dale Sports Report. Again, we're at Buffalo Wild Wings, and we appreciate them. Of course, we appreciate Toonie Bice Houses for being a title sponsor of the Mid-Dale Sports Report. But here at Buffalo Wild Wings, you can come anytime between now and March 31st and support, and we'll have the card up again, Midwest City Wrestling. It's the same one as last segment because it's for both wrestling, boys and girls. They do a lot of things together, hand in hand. So the wrestling that you support will be for the boys and girls who wrestle, and that's between now and March 31st. You show them this card. You can easily download it if you need help doing that. Just contact us. We'll make sure we get it your way. And if you know any of the coaches, they'll text it to you. And, of course, again, 10% of the proceeds will go to Midwest City Wrestling. let's talk Midwest City girls wrestling. Let's get an update here with their coach, Tyler Cade. So, Coach Cade, this year you got 2 wrestlers, correct?
We have 4 wrestlers. We have 2 lighter weights, 2 heavyweights. At the moment, right now, our lower weights have been competing more in some of our dual actions, but they all have been competing in our tournaments early on this year. So we started off with a 7, 8. We kind of got down to 4 because the other ones are kind of figuring out if this is something they really want to do because it is a tough sport, and we're always looking for more girls. But I've got, like I said, 2 lower weights that have been with me the last 2 years. I have a heavyweight, Kylie, who's been with me the last 2 years as well. And then we have a new one, Miss Roberts, who's with us as well as heavyweight. So we're going the numbers. We just got to find some weights in between.
All right, and what are some highlights you've had this season?
Oh, definitely. We started off with the PCO tournament and took all 4 of our girls. All of them finished in the top 5. I think the highest finishing we had was 3rd place. But they were all able to get a lot of mat time against some other great girls throughout the state of Oklahoma. The PCO tournament is one of the bigger tournaments of the year as far as an early season tournament, and you get to see teams. There's teams from Texas, teams from 5A, 6A. So we got to see a lot of good competition. So, they've been helping out a little bit in our duels, but the big things are our weekend tournaments, the PCO tournament, our Midwest City tournament we had early in the year, getting into some mat times, and they've all been placing in the top 5, which is really, really impressive, especially some of the newer additions.
Now, these wrestlers, they're not that experienced, correct? They're relatively new to the sport. So what's some important things you got to establish with them?
Oh, definitely. And you hit the nail on the head. A lot of these, the boy wrestlers you just had on, they've been doing it since elementary school, where a lot of these girls didn't start till high school or their freshman year. So we got to nail down the basics with those young ladies. And so just teaching them everything, basic defense, basic takedowns, basic turns to pins, and mainly getting them to understand the cardio shape it takes, the mentality it takes to wrestle, 3 periods. It's not easy. It's 2 minutes of really taxing work. So we're getting them that the more mat time they get, the more comfortable they're getting with them. But with them in the wrestling room, we teach them some very, not basic stuff, but some stuff that's going to help you win at all levels. But just learning, when we call out certain commands or certain techniques, they know what we're talking about. So my lower weights, Megan and Skylie, they've kind of grown. They know, the system, whereas some of our newer ones, they're kind of just learning it, and every day is kind of a new experience for them.
So because they're not as experienced, do you do anything different with them over Christmas break?
We do joint practices, but we'll take them after we demonstrate a drill move. We'll kind of take them to the side and make sure they understand it, make sure they're squared away. Make sure that they get opportunity to understand fully. We may fly through it with some other guys, but we want to make sure they understand the very basics. And then also during Christmas break, we had opportunity to do joint practices. So we got to go to Moore and practice with them. They had a handful of girls that were really good, so it gave them some more experience with some other girls besides the ones they practice with every day. And we also went to Carl Albert, and they had a girl who was actually a college wrestler come in and wrestle with them. So getting to wrestle with different girls at the high school level and the college level, I think helps build that confidence and just helps them out a ton.
And what I've heard is generally that the boys, because they're going to practice together, that the boys are very helpful with that.
Oh, definitely.
To make girls feel comfortable, because that can be a big step for them to take.
It is, and there's times they have to spar against each other, and they don't either side holds back. And so I've seen some really good matches, but they do a great job of helping me be good drill partners, helping explain whatever situation we're in, and also being supportive. When we go to those tournaments and our boys are wrestling, we got our girls on the side yelling for them, and then when the girls are wrestling, the boys are right there behind them, supporting and yelling from you. So it's become a big family with the boys and girls and, being in that wrestling room together, and I think we're all learning from each other.
All right, so are your wrestlers going to be all in the Malcolm Wade Invitational? Or?
Yes, they are. That is the plan right now, and that's I'm sure Coach Walker told you that is a big tournament, and there'll be girls from all levels there. And every year they put on a great tournament with a lot of good competition, and so that'll help us when we go into regionals down the road in February. A lot of the same girls that are at the Malcolm Wade, we'll be at the regionals, so we'll be able to see kind of where you stack up in each weight class.
All right, Coach. So when we come back here on January 31st, hopefully you and one of your girls can come. It just couldn't happen tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And if nothing else, send me some pictures and videos, and we'll put them on that night and on our social media platforms.
Yep, we'll do. No problem. We'll get them taken care of.
All right. Well, we really appreciate your time. All right. So that will do it for tonight. I do want to once again go over all the cards here, Jacoby. So once again, we got Midwest City girls basketball, Midwest City boys basketball, Midwest City wrestling, and even though they couldn't make it tonight, Midwest City powerlifting. And then finally, we do have a couple of swimmers at Midwest City High School. They're part of the Mid-Del swim team. So, again, you show them these cards, as we call them, to be these pictures on your phone, and that program gets 10%. That's now until March 31st. So it's a good chance to hit Buffalo Wild Wings a lot to help those programs. And what we have coming up on the air in the next several days is this Friday, Midwest City at Lawton MacArthur in basketball. Girls and boys, a big matchup in the standings. It's 1 versus 2 in both of them. And then Saturday, we'll have the championship rounds of the Malcolm Wade Invitational at Carl Albert High School. Tuesday, it won't be, but it'll be on the network. Carl Albert will be playing at Altus in basketball. So tune in for that. It'll be the Altus announcing crew, of course, but still will be worth your time. Wednesday, we'll be back on when we'll have Carl Albert High School sports, winter sports. And then the Thursday, Friday, Saturday after that, we'll have the girls basketball Titan Classic at Carl Albert High School. And that's going to be on during the day. But it's been reduced because they've changed up things here with basketball as far as districts. But to girls, but still some really good matchups. The defending champ, Edmond Memorial, will be there. And we'll talk more about that next week. But that's some of the things we have looking forward to in the next several days. I want to thank Jacoby Brasi. This will be his final night producing for us for this year, this school year. He's moving on to bigger things, but not better things. But we're going to miss you, Jacoby. And we'll have a capable producer taking your place in Matthew Batista, and we'll still have our production assistants as well, including Alicia Wooden, and we really appreciate her, and Cedric Brasi as well. So, again, next week is Carl Albert, and the next time we'll have Midwest City teams on will be January 31st. Until then, you've been watching the Mid-Dale Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.